Come onto your back. Lie down, maybe grab a prop, a pillow for behind your head. Get comfortable. Here, spread out your legs, stretch out your arms, take up some space. And then slowly bring your attention to your breath. Bringing one hand to your chest, one to your belly. Close your eyes. And notice your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose. And then exhale slowly out of your mouth. You're at home in privacy, so just breathe heavily if you like. Just inhale deeply through your nose here, filling up your lungs, and then exhale out of your mouth, letting out a sigh. Inhale through your nose, and then exhale. Go ahead and do that one more time at your own pace. Just inhaling here, and then exhale, letting go of anything that's been going on during the day, anything that's been with you during this week, and just let it go here. Inhale, and then exhale. Notice the movement of your body as you breathe here. How your hands and your ribcage lift with every inhale and sink a little bit with every exhale. Slowly start to bring your knees into your chest. Here, hugging your knees, you can rock side to side on your, just massaging your lower back here. You can bring your knees even wider on the sides of your torso and rock side to side. Here with your knees to your chest, just do small rotations with your ankles, rotating to one side, and then rotate to the other side. And then slowly bring your feet down. And here, just having your feet about mat width apart, start to windshield wiper your legs. So you're bringing your knees down to the ground, one side, and then the other side. Bringing your knees right to the ground as far as you can go, then going over to the other side. Loosening out your hips, feeling a bit of a stretch maybe in your hamstrings. And then slowly come back to center. Here, coming back to center, you have your knees over your ankles. And if you have your prop next to you, the block, just bring a block and lift your hips up. Place the block underneath your hips. Staying on the lower level here, tuck your shoulders behind you. And bring your palms of your hands so they're facing the ceiling. The back of the hands are on the ground. Staying here for a moment. Just on the lower level. Maybe having your knees topple inward. And then slowly what we'll do is bring our knees up so our knees are pointing towards the ceiling. And here, start to do circles with your knees as if you're drawing a circle on the ceiling. Your knees are going around one way, drawing a circle or an oval. Maybe you're going a little further out onto the exteriors of the block, drawing a circle here onto the ceiling. And then do a circle the other way. Moving slowly here. Maybe stopping where you feel it feels good and continuing with your circle. And then slowly bring your feet right back to the ground. And then slowly now bring your feet up to the ceiling. Toes towards the ceiling, your pointed toes, and then flex your feet up towards the ceiling. Flex. And then bring your one leg is still up in the air, your left leg is staying up. Bring a bend into your right knee on the block here. And then bring your left leg down lower. Straight, it's not hitting the ground. You're just stretching out your left leg, flex your left foot, and your right knee is in your chest. Switch, bring your left knee into your chest, bending, and stretch out your right foot, flex your right foot. Once again, switch, holding the right leg this time, flexing the left foot. You can flex both feet, just to keep it simple. And then the next, going back to the left leg. Bring both knees into the chest, and then drop your feet back to the ground. Here, bring your feet to about mat width apart, let your knees topple inwards, or if you have another pillow, it always feels good to have a pillow between your knees. You can try that out. Just staying here on the lower level of the block, letting your back release, your lower back release. And then slowly grab your second block on the lower level, place it on top of the first block. So you might come up onto your tippy toes, pile them on top of each other, and then lower yourself onto the block. Tuck your shoulders behind you. And here, close your eyes, maybe place your hands on your belly, and come back to your breath. If your mind is wandering, notice the movement of your body as you breathe here, how your hands lift and fall on your belly as you breathe. Or bring your attention to the contact points of the ground beneath your feet, where the back of your arms, where your shoulders are connecting with the ground. Notice where you're being held by the ground beneath you. Here we'll do a little bit of a breathing exercise together, breathing together for 4. So what it is that it's a square breathing where you inhale for 1, you hold your breath for 4 breaths, And then you exhale. It's a bit of a square. So you inhale, hold your breath, exhale, hold your breath for 4 counts each time. So we'll go together here, inhaling through your nose, and then I'll count to 4. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can continue doing this at your own pace, maybe holding for 3 breaths instead, or for 5 or 6. See what feels good for you and where you can go. You don't even need to count the breaths if you like. You can also just inhale for as long as you can. Hold your breath for as long as you can. Exhale and hold your breath. Slowly here, start to come up onto your tippy toes, moving slowly, and lift yourself up a little bit just to flip the block from underneath you, coming onto the lower block. Placing that block aside, taking a moment on the lower block, and then slowly coming up, lifting your hips and sliding out that second block. And slowly lower your hips down to the ground. Here you have your feet about mat width apart. Your knees are tipping inward, toppling inward. It might feel good here to bring your knees into your chest. If it does, go for it. Maybe bringing your knees further out to the sides of your torso. And then bring your feet back to the ground. Here with your feet about mat width apart, we'll start to windshield wiper again our feet, our knees. So just bringing your knees down to the ground and then onto the other side. And then slowly come back to center. And then here, stretch out your legs. And bring your arms overhead. So here you can have your arms overhead in that they're straight up and your arms are pointed. Or if you like, you can have your hands on your elbows. And what we're going to do here is, in this position, start to bring your torso over to the right side. So bringing a stretch into our left side body. So now your torso is coming over to the right side. Maybe having your hands together at the top might help. And then slowly bring your feet towards the right side as well. So both feet are going over to the right side. Now you're in a banana shape on the floor. Here in this position, you can keep it this way. You feel the stretch along the whole left side body, through the hips, through towards your legs. Or what you could do is also crisscross your feet in at your ankle. So one way or the other, check which one works for you. Maybe having the right foot over the ankle or having the left foot over your ankle. Crossing over, seeing if that enhances the stretch. Here, notice your neck. Maybe bring your neck so it's facing the opposite direction or in the same direction as the stretch is going. See what's comfortable for you. As you breathe in here and breathe in this position, notice your rib cage as you inhale. That the left side is the one that's lifting. And then slowly come back to center, bringing your torso back to center, and then bringing your feet back to center. And then this time start to go over with your torso first towards the left side. Maybe holding onto your elbows, feeling the stretch on the right side. And then slowly walk your feet over to the left side as well, feeling the stretch in the right side body. Crisscross your ankles. Maybe it feels a little different. Maybe a different side is getting crisscrossed here. Just feeling the pull in the right side body. Come back to your breathing. Notice how your body moves with every breath. Then slowly bring your feet back to center. And then shift your torso back to center. Bring your arms back down by your side. Maybe stretching out here. Maybe bringing your knees into your chest. What feels good? If your knees are in your chest, what we're going to do from there is rock side to side, and then come over onto the left side or right side, whatever side feels good. Coming into a fetal position, and then pushing up into a tabletop. So here in the tabletop position, set up with your blocks nearby. What we'll do is first set up with the blocks in front of you. So you have the blocks about shoulder width apart here, right in front. And then bring your hands to the front in front of you and tuck your toes underneath. So now you're on your tippy toes and sit onto your heels. So this might be pretty intense for your toes. Try to check that your weight is all evenly distributed in your toes. And then here, what we'll start with, just keeping it this way. And if it's too intense, just come back down onto your feet. So just doing it here onto your tippy toes. What we'll start to do here is just rotate your shoulders, just to loosen out the shoulders here, rotating the shoulders backward and then forward. And then slowly just bring a small rotations to your neck, just loosening out anything that's been going on in your neck here. Take a few moments. Doing what feels good for you today. And then slowly, what we're going to do with the blocks in front of us is place the back of our arms on it. So bring a bend into your elbows, and then bring your arms down to the block and have your head fall through the blocks. So here we're doing a stretch for our neck at the same time as our toes. If our toes are getting too tired, you can flip them out so that they're flat on the ground. So here, just bring your head and drop it through the block. And then you can have your hands together above your head. Here, notice your breathing, not changing it in any way, but just noticing what it's like. If it's fast, if it's slow. If this stretch is a bit too intense for you, you can always adjust the blocks so that they're on the medium height and not on the highest height, so that your head is touching the ground, and it'll make the stretch in the back a little less intense. Notice your toes. Are you rolling out and putting less pressure on certain toes and more on the others? Try to adjust that. Let go of your head. Notice if you're still holding on to your head's weight. Let it go. Slowly start to lift your head. Remove your arms from the blocks. Place the blocks on the side. Here you're coming back into the tabletop. Flip out your toes. So the tops of your feet are on the ground now. And here, just tap your toes. So we're just tapping our feet on the ground, counteracting all of that stretching that we did.
Maybe rub your feet side to side. Give a little comfort to your toes. And then slowly come back. You're onto your heels. Make your knees about mat width apart. And then stretch your arms forward, coming into a child's pose. Might feel good to put a pillow underneath your bum or underneath your knees. Adjust as needed. And then come up back into tabletop. And this time, thread your right arm through towards your left side. And then bring your shoulder down to the ground. Here with your left arm, you can place it behind you if you like, onto your back. Here it's as if you're turning your torso a little bit towards, you're opening up to the left side. We won't be here for too long. Come back, hand on the ground, lift yourself up here. If it feels good, go into a downward facing dog, child pose, maybe cat cow, move your spine, whatever feels good here. And then come back, tabletop, and thread your left hand through towards the right side, bringing your left shoulder down to the ground. Here you're opening up your chest towards the right side, maybe placing your hand on your back. Your right hand is on your back or behind you entirely. Not holding this here for too long. Then slowly bring your right hand back down to the ground. Coming back, seated onto your heels. And here, what we're going to do is set up for a supine twist, but on the front. So bring a prop. So it could be your bolster. It could be a bunch of pillows. It could be a bolster and pillows. So just set up here. And then what we're going to do is sit onto the right side. On your hip on the right side here, your right side is facing these props. You can have your knees both together if you like, or you can have one leg further behind. And then slowly twist your chest onto these support systems that you've created, okay? So your hip is right against the props, turning your torso, leaning down onto the prop, and then turn your head in the opposite direction. So if your knees are out towards on the right side, on the left side here, your head is facing the other direction. If you have pillows and the blocks only, what you can do is also place blocks in front of you on the medium height or on the lower height, and then place the pillows on top, giving more height. You might even put a pillow or something in between your knees. That might help if this is uncomfortable.
Bring your attention to your breathing if your mind is wandering. Come back into the practice. Bring your attention to the sensations around you here. So maybe just the feeling of your arms on the ground. If you're holding these props, that sensation, the weight of your body on the ground. Notice how when you come into a position, it is more intense in the beginning, and then it slowly starts to loosen as you are in that position. Notice how the feelings are changing in your back the longer you hold the pose. Maybe explore breathing a little deeper in this position, just inhaling forcefully, but not too forcefully, but just a little bit more than the natural breathing, and noticing how that sends the air to your back and just stretches your back a little bit more in this pose, enhances the pose a little bit. Or maybe how that doesn't work for you. Just explore and see. Slowly turn your head so it's in the center, and then push into your hands, coming out of this position. Slowly twist yourself back, coming forward. So your knees are in front of you. And here, start to turn over onto the other side. So your knees are now facing the other way. And now your left side hip is touching your props. And then turn over, turning your torso over your props once again, maybe adjusting them differently on this side, making it higher or lower. And then slowly come over onto your props once again and face your head in the opposite direction of your knees. It might be different for your legs here. Maybe on this side, you like to put a pillow between your knees or a block. Close your eyes. Come back to your breathing. Each side of the body is different, so this side might be a little bit more uncomfortable or might need a bit more adjusting, or it might just be sitting really well on this side.
Here, if you're settling into the pose, start to inhale a little bit more forcefully here, sending the air to the back, expanding your back a little bit in this pose. And then exhale. Slowly bring the palms of your hands to the ground and slowly come out of this position, lifting up, slowly twisting out. Place your props onto the sides. And then slowly you're facing forward here, your knees are in front of you. And here it might feel good to windshield wiper your knees once again. Knees are going to the side. And then here, if you like, you can lie down here. So first option you can do is you can lie down, place your blocks for supported position where you have this one at the medium side, and then this one for your head. You lie down on it for the remainder of the next few minutes, and then you can have your feet together for cobbler's pose. Or the other position is you can bring the block with you and go against the wall. So if you have a wall free, you can come up against the wall here, coming closer to the wall and flipping your legs up the wall. So you bring your hip right to the wall, come down onto your back, and then flip your legs up the wall. For the last few minutes of class. Here, maybe bringing your prop for your head, pillow. And if you like, and if you're used to doing this position, you can also try placing a block underneath your hips and seeing how that feels. So it's a bit of a double position then. You're placing the block underneath your pelvis. It might feel good, it might feel not very good. So if it doesn't feel good, take it out. And just keep your legs up the wall. And if you've chosen to lie on your back, come into it slowly, maybe placing a blanket onto the block. And then just let your hands come onto the sides, the palms are facing the ceiling. If your legs are up the wall, you can start to explore the position, just widening your legs. So bringing one leg, the left leg over, opening it, keeping your right leg up straight against the wall. Feeling the stretch in the inside of your leg. Then bringing your leg back up against the wall and opening up on the right side. Feeling the stretch on the inside of the right leg. And bring your leg back up. Both legs are up towards the ceiling. Maybe flex your feet. And then here, bring your feet together. So in both positions here, if you're on your back or on the wall, bring your feet together so that your knees are apart and falling open. Feeling the stretch in the insides of the legs. Maybe giving some support with your hands, or if you're on the ground, bring some props underneath your knees.
And if your legs are on the wall, straighten out your feet, legs are back up. And if you decided to put the block underneath your hips and you're with your legs against the wall, just place your feet on the wall and slowly lift your hips up and remove the block. So place it aside and place your hips right down onto the ground. Here, close your eyes. Bring one hand to your chest, one to your belly. Come back to your breath. Let go of anything that you're holding in your face, maybe here, some additional tension that's not necessary. In both positions on your back, here either with your legs up the wall or with the props behind you, you can slowly bring your hands to your face and just slowly bring your fingers to the insides of your eyebrows and start to bring your hands across your eyebrows, just giving yourself a bit of a massage here, coming to your temples, giving small circles to your temples. Maybe bringing your hands into your hair, giving a bit of a massage to your scalp. Give yourself the attention you need here. And slowly, when you feel like you've massaged your face a little bit, you can bring your hands down by your side, palms facing the ceiling. If you're on your blocks on your back, slowly bring your weight onto your elbows, pushing up out of the position, removing the props from behind you, and then lying onto your back. If your legs are up the wall, what you'll do is bring your knees into your chest, and then slowly slide over onto the side that you have some space on, flipping your knees onto the side so that you're coming into a bit of a fetal position onto the side, and then come back to your mat, and then stretch out onto your back. Here you can place a pillow underneath your head, maybe a prop or pillow underneath your knees, like a bolster, a long pillow underneath your knees, just bring some support. And then stretch out a bit, maybe coming into a bit more of a star shape. Letting your body reset here, relax, and take in what we've done during this practice. I'll read a little bit, a quote here, a excerpt. So it's called, "See how happy you are." Most of us have very active imaginations. We have the power to visualize, to create in our minds what we cannot yet see with our eyes. The problem is that many of us use this power to visualize events we'd really rather not see. We conjure up all sorts of images about the bad, painful things that could happen. Maybe it's time to use this potent creative power of visualization to create pictures of all the good we would like to see in our lives. What would you like to see happen in your life? Think about it now. Create a picture you can see. The more real you make it, the better it will be. See yourself in this picture. Try to involve all your senses. Visualize yourself touching, hearing, speaking, smelling, and feeling. Charge your picture with such emotional energy as you can. Use any spare moments. Sketch out on the sofa, in bed, before you fall asleep, driving your car, soaking in the tub, to create positive pictures of your life. You can take the moment here now to do this as well. Just imagining what would you like to have going on in your life? And then continue to do this. Make a project out of it. Make a list. Keep it nearby. And if you don't know what to put on your list, ask yourself, ask God, ask the universe to help you and show you. See yourself doing all the things you'd like to do. Take the time to use your creative power of visualization to create the life you'd like. But above all, take the time to see yourself being happy. Take a few moments here just to see something positive, see yourself where you would like to be. If any negative ideas come up into your image, just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let those negative images and visualizations go. As you inhale, you're bringing in those positive images and positive visualizations for the future. Slowly here, start to bring your knees into your chest. Rocking slowly side to side. And then slowly drop your knees onto one side, coming up and coming back into a seated position.